Welcome everybody, this is Aaron with Daily Armour of God. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. This is my Finishing the Bible in 1 Year project, and we are on day 253. We're still in the book of Nehemiah, and we'll be reading chapters 12 and 13 today. So, just to recap on what we read yesterday, I have it up here. Basically, sums it up in this: time passes and heads of the provinces. So, they made a covenant with God, a new covenant, and they just went through a bunch of people, given the names of all the heads of the provinces, essentially. So that's where we left off in Nehemiah 11. And it looks like we're going to be doing more names, more genealogy stuff in Nehemiah 12. So, again, I must say, I apologize in advance for any mispronunciation or pronunciation errors when I'm trying to pronounce the names. I apologize in advance. So, let's get started with Nehemiah 12, verse 1. Now these are the priests and the Levites that went up with Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, Sariah, Jeremiah, Ezra, Amariah, Maluch, Hattush, Shechaniah, Rehum, Meromoth, Iddo, Ginnetho, Abijah, Miamin, Maadiah, Bilgah, Shemaiah, Joiarib, Jedidiah, Salu, Amok, Hilkiah, Jedidiah. These were the chief of the priests and of their brethren in the days of Jeshua. Moreover, the Levites, Jeshua, Benui, Kadmiel, Sherebiah, Judah, Mattaniah, which were over the thanksgiving, he and his brethren. Also Bakbukiah and Uni and their brethren were over against them in the watches. And Joshua begat Joiakim. Joiakim also begat Eliashib, and Eliashib also begat Joiada. And Joiada begat Jonathan, and Jonathan begat Jaddua. And the days of Joiakim were priests, the chief of the fathers of Sariah, Moriah, of Jeremiah, Hananiah, of Ezra, Meshullam, of Amariah, Jehohanan, of Meliku, Jonathan of Shebaniah, Joseph of Harim, Edna of Merioth, Hilkiah of Iddo, Zechariah of Ginnethon, Meshullam of Abijah, Zechari of Miniamin, of Moiada, Piltiah of Bilgah, Shammua of Shemaniah, Jehonathan, and of Joarib, Mattaniah, of Jediah, Uzi, of Salai, Kalai, of Amok, Eber, of Hilkiah, Hashabiah, of Jediah, Nathaniel. The Levites in the days of Eliashib, Joiada, and Jonathan, and Jaddua, were recorded chief of the fathers, also the priests to the reign of Darius the Persian. The sons of Levi, the chief of the fathers, were written in the book of the Chronicles, even until the days of Jonahan, the son of Eliashib. And the chief of the Levites, Hashabiah, Sherebiah, and Jeshua the son of Kadmiel, with their brethren over against them, to praise and give thanks according to the commandment of David, the man of God, or Elohim, ward over against ward. Mattaniah and Bakbukiah, Obadiah, Meshullam, Talmon, Akub were porters keeping the ward at the thresholds of the gates. These were in the days of Joiakim, the son of Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, in the days of Nehemiah the governor, and of Ezra the priest, the scribe. And at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem to keep the dedication with gladness, both with thanksgivings and with singing, with cymbals, psalteries, and harps. And the sons of the singers gathered themselves together, both out of the plain country round about Jerusalem, and from the villages of Nephtali, also from the house of Gilgal, and out of the fields of Geba and Azmapheth, for the singers had builded them villages round about Jerusalem, and the priests and the Levites purified themselves and purified the people, and the gates and the wall. Then I brought up the princes of Judah upon the wall, and appointed 2 great companies of them that gave thanks, whereof one went on the right hand upon the wall toward the dung gate. And after them went Hoshaiah and half of the princes of Judah, and Azariah, Ezra, Meshullam, Judah and Benjamin, Shemaiah, and Jeremiah, and certain of the priest's sons with trumpets, namely Zechariah the son of Jonahan, the son of Shemaiah, the son of Mattaniah, the son of Micaiah, the son of Zakur, the son of Asaph, and his brethren Shemaiah and Azriel, Milai, Gilaliah, Maiah, Nathaniel, and Judah, Hanai, with the musical instruments of David the man of Elohim, and Ezra the scribe before them. And at the fountain gate which was over against them, they went up by the stairs of the city of David, and at the going up of the wall above the house of David, even to the water gate eastward. And the other company of them that gave thanks went over against them, and I after them, and the half of the people upon the wall, far from beyond the tower of the furnaces, even unto the broad wall, and from above the gate of Ephraim, and above the old gate, and above the fish gate, and the tower of Hananiel, and the tower of Meah, even to the sheep gate, and they stood still in the prison gate. So stood the 2 companies of them that gave thanks in the house of Elohim, and I, and the half of the rulers with me. And the priests Eliakim, Maaseiah, Minamin, Micaiah, Elionai, Zechariah, Hananiah with trumpets, and Maaseiah, and Shemaiah, and Eleazar, and Uzi, and Jehohanan, and Malchijah, and Elam, and Ezer. And the singers sang loud with Jezreiah their overseer. Also that today they offered great sacrifices and rejoiced, for Elohim had made them rejoice with great joy. The wives also and the children rejoiced, so that the joy of Jerusalem was heard even afar off. And at that time were some appointed over the chambers for the treasures, for the offerings, for the first fruits, and for the tithes, to gather into them out of the fields of the cities the portions of the law for the priests and Levites. For Judah rejoiced for the priests and for the Levites that waited. And both the singers and the porters kept the word of their Elohim in the word of the purification, according to the commandment of David and Solomon his son. For in the days of David and Asaph of old there were chief of the singers and songs of praise and thanksgiving unto Elohim, and all Israel in the days of Zerubbabel and in the days of Nehemiah gave the portions of the singers and the porters every day his portion, and they sanctified holy things unto the Levites, and the Levites sanctified them unto the children of Aaron. Nehemiah 13 verse 1. On that day they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of Elohim forever, because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water, but hired Balaam against them, that he should curse them. Howbeit our Elohim turned the curse into a blessing. Now it came to pass, when they heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude. And before this, Eliashib the priest, having the oversight to the chamber of the house of Elohim, was allied unto Tobiah. And he had prepared for him a great chamber, where aforetime they laid the meat offerings and frankincense and vessels, and the tithes of the corn, new wine, and oil, which was commanded to be given to the Levites, and the singers, and the porters, and the offerings of the priests. But in all this time was not I at Jerusalem, for in the 2 and 13th year of Artaxerxes the king of Babylon came I unto the king, and after certain days obtained I leave of the king. And I came to Jerusalem, and understood of the evil that Eliashib did for Tobiah, in the preparing him a chamber in the courts of the house of Elohim. And it grieved me sore, therefore I cast forth all the household stuff of Tobiah out of the chamber. Then I commanded, and they cleansed the chambers, and thither brought I again the vessels of the house of Elohim with the meat offering and the frankincense. And I perceived that the portions of the Levites had not been given them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled, every one to his field. Then contended I with the rulers, and said, Why is the house of Elohim forsaken? And I gathered them together, and set them in their place. Then brought all Judah the tithe of the corn, and the new wine, and the oil into the treasuries. And I made treasurers over the treasuries, Shelemiah the priest, and Zadok the scribe, and of the Levites, Pedaiah, and the next to them was Hanan the son of Zakur, the son of Mattaniah. for they were counted faithful, and their office was to distribute unto their brethren. Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my Elohim, and for the office thereof. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves, and lading asses also, as also wine, grapes, figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, What evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us, and upon this city? Yet do ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath? And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should be no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them, and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day. Remember me, O my Elohim, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy. So again, they just 2 chapters ago, they just made a covenant, and then they're falling into sin yet again, doing stuff on the Sabbath. And just a little sneak peek of this next few verses. So, oh my word, let's just continue. In those days also I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and Moab, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by Elohim, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. Did not Solomon the king of Israel sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his Elohim, and his Elohim made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our Elohim in marrying strange wives? And one of the sons of Joiada, the son of Eliashib the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me. Remember them, O my Elohim, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Thus cleansed I them from all strangers, and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business, and for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the firstfruits. Remember me, O my Elohim, for good. Wow, they just keep falling back in their ways, and we know this from history, that they will eventually fall back. That 400 years of quote unquote silence before Jesus is born. We know that it was a repeat of evil king passed down to evil king passed down to evil king, exactly like before the Babylonians took them away and destroyed Jerusalem. It was like that. So one evil king ruled, and then had a son, and he was even more evil than his father, and that's what happened all the way until Herod, King Herod, and they just fell back into sin once again. So it's just crazy how it just keeps repeating. Everything keeps repeating. So here is the daily promise, which is Revelation 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. Here's the reflection, and I quote, Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. Deuteronomy 6:5, where it says, And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thine soul, and with all thy might. Also, it's in Luke 10:27. And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. For he is ever the rewarder of those who seek him. Believe upon his name, and taste the true manna from heaven, the true bread of life, the very Son of God. Ever will he sustain you, and ever will your life be caught up with his. From life to death to glory everlasting. Praise his name and rejoice the bounty of his hand. Quote. Oh man, that is great. And here's a great verse right here. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. I love that verse, because it just shows that we have to have faith every day, and it is a struggle every day to have faith, to have trust, to wait on the Lord, and to fight the evil that's in our lives, in our world. And if we seek God constantly, he's a rewarder to them, to us, who diligently seek him. And I strive every day to diligently seek him. Am I perfect? No, I am not. I struggle just like everybody else struggles, and it is tough. That's why I pray every day, multiple times a day actually, that God will help me, that like what we're about to pray here in a second, that God will show me his will and his way, and that I will wait on him. So, speaking of praying, let's pray. Dear Jehovah, our Elohim, our Abba, thank you for this day, and thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for our lives. Thank you that we're able to read your word, and I pray you give us discernment so we can rightly divide your word of truth and keep everything that we read in our hearts and our minds. Please help us be an example to others so that we can reach out to others to bring to you for your sake and for your glory. Please help us be bold and not ashamed of your word. Please help us in our walk with you and show us the path you want us to take, and show us what you will do in our lives. Let thy will be done in our lives. Thank you again for all that you've done, all that you're doing, and all that you will do. And I pray in your precious holy name, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. Thank you. Amen, amen. So, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I hope you have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you're at. And as always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. God bless. Remember, put God first in everything you do, and you'll never be sorry. This is actually, I just checked. This is the last day. I thought there was another day of Nehemiah, but sadly, this is the end of Nehemiah. I am very sad actually, because I don't know. I like learning about the history and stuff. So anyway, we're getting ever so closer to the New Testament. I can't wait. Tomorrow is First Chronicles. So buckle up, get ready for loads more history, loads more genealogy probably, loads more names, and we'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.